navigating through the maze of responsibilities following a death can be overwhelming. In this episode, we're going to introduce you to Empathy.com, an organization that helps you with loss-related tasks. You're listening to Heartbeat from the Heart of Hospice. I'm Jerry Finter, here with Helen Bauer.
Whether you're a family caregiver or an end-of-life professional, we're here to enhance your hospice experience by connecting you with information you can use about end-of-life care. Because we know how busy life can get, Heartbeat is designed to give you helpful information in a bite-sized format. Everyone working in end-of-life care should be knowledgeable about medical aid in dying. We would recommend cultural anthropologist Anita Hanig's book, The Day I Die, The Untold Story of Assisted Dying in America. The book is unbiased, based on 5 years of immersive research. In telling the stories of ordinary Americans who decide to seek medical assistance in dying, Ms. Hanig uncovers the stigma against assisted dying and why someone might choose an assisted death. You can find The Day I Die, The Untold Story of Assisted Dying in America at anitahanig.com.
Today's episode is sponsored by the Love Always Project. The team at Love Always understands that while loss is a natural part of life, it's a topic that a lot of people would rather just not think about. On the Love Always Project website, you'll find support related to grief, loss, and bereavement, as well as funeral pre-planning. With all the overwhelm that comes with the loss of someone you love, it's great to have the resources the Love Always Project provides. Check out their website at lovealwaysproject.org. You know, there are a multitude, and when I say multitude, that doesn't even really begin to talk about the level of responsibilities that occur when there's a death. So you've got choices and decisions that have to be made, and it can be overwhelming. Let's just take a look at some of the things. Choosing a funeral home, choosing the disposition of the body, the type of a burial, the type of service, the time of the service, how you're going to pay for the service, who's going to be the celebrant, the clergy or someone else who will actually officiate the service. You got to contact the life insurance company. You choose a casket. You have to write an obituary, write a eulogy, contacting relatives and friends, contacting government agencies.
Okay.
That was just a short list.
I know, but that's exhausting just listening to it.
It is. And people spend hours of work just going through all of these different responsibilities and tasks that have to be done when somebody dies.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice if you had someone to help you who's been through it?
These people can help.
Who's that?
Empathy.com. Okay,
so Empathy.com realized that there was such a need out there that they did something about it. And they have created an organization who will help. And here's just some of the things that we want to tell you about Empathy.com.
They use technology as well as human support to provide a subscription-based digital companion application that's built to accompany grieving family members and ensure that they don't have to do all of those things that you were listing by themselves.
Right. So when it says technology, they have an app. They also have a website, but they have an app that is where most of the help comes from.
Right. They've broken it down into informative steps, and they have over 200 articles that go along with it to help create a personal plan for each user and help families to make informed decisions.
Right. So some of those tasks that we mentioned, well, they can actually do some of those tasks for you.
Isn't that a nice thought?
Yes, it is. And so they have a team of care specialists who will walk through this with you. You can either chat with them on the app, or you can actually even talk to them directly, and they can give you the kind of help that you need during a very, very stressful time. Because not only are people having to do all these hundreds of tasks, they're trying to grieve at the same time.
Right.
How difficult that is.
So one of the the most valuable, in my opinion, one of the most valuable services that empathy has is the obituary creator.
Oh, yes.
You can know somebody for 50, 60 years, but when you have to sit down and write an obituary, oh my goodness.
Right. So I'll tell you from a personal experience. When my mom died, they all looked at me and said, "You write the obituary, okay?"
Why did they pick you to do it?
I don't know. Because I'm the youngest and I never say no.
Oh my God. Because everybody picks on you.
Everybody picks on me. But they're always like, they make it sound like it's a compliment. They say, "You're so good with words." And
yes,
you
write it. Yeah, there you got hoodwinked into something there, I think.
I think so. It was difficult to do. It would have been nice to have had some help from somebody who has words. So here's what empathy does. You give them the information. You tell them the details. And then they have experts who then compose a very thoughtful, meaningful, beautifully written obituary.
Let's face it, not everybody's a writer.
No.
If that's not the kind of thing you do for a living, and then all of a sudden somebody says, "Here, write a description," right? And you're exhausted, grieving, maybe writing's not your gift, and you're under the gun. There's a time limit on it. You've got to get it in. And how do you know what seems to be appropriate or meaningful? Yeah, to have somebody who's professionally experienced at that is a huge help. The Love Always Project is a grassroots movement created to encourage people to pre-plan and pay for their funeral as the ultimate act of love for those they will leave behind. Many people don't know they can plan their funeral in advance, but most people who do know they can pre-plan simply choose not to act on the opportunity. The Love Always Project knows there are benefits to completing funeral pre-planning, such as minimizing pain for your loved ones during what can be a difficult time of grief and mourning, and leaving a final connection with those you love that can mean so much. By promoting discussion about end-of-life issues and providing expert information, Love Always helps people design a better farewell. Funeral pre-planning and funding can reduce financial and emotional stress on your loved ones, giving them time to grieve and giving you peace of mind knowing your wishes will be carried out. Follow the Love Always Project on Facebook and Instagram, and check out the Love Always Project forum page to find a space to share and learn about the many aspects of end-of-life issues. Visit lovealwaysproject.org to find the support and resources for funeral pre-planning you need. Now on to today's episode.
So let's talk about some of the other things that empathy also offers. They offer a grief journal. So this grief journal is a space where you can sort of unload your thoughts, unload your emotions, write these emotions down, accept those feelings, and kind of check in with the emotions that you have. And it helps you to understand how you're feeling.
And journaling is one of those exercises that's been recognized as very healing and very meaningful for people who are grieving.
Right.
The other thing they have is grief meditation. Empathy created a series of mindfulness-based guided meditations that can be accessed anytime and anywhere. So if you've got the Empathy app on your phone, it's right there at your fingertips.
Right. And here's what I'll tell you. They are not long meditations either. They are very short, 5 or 6 minutes, because they know you don't always have the attention span now that you might have had before.
Right.
So they keep it short so it doesn't, take up a lot of your time. It's just long enough to keep your attention.
So one of the other things they do is they help to close accounts. They have a tool that simplifies the process for closing down accounts and subscriptions, takes the hard work away from the user. It has a pre-programmed list of accounts that you can select, and then you upload the relevant documents, and you can hire, for a fee, the empathy care specialist to take care of the rest of it, to go in with the login information and close out those accounts. How convenient is that?
Oh, and you know that in today's world, people open up accounts all the time for certain subscriptions or certain websites. And
oh, yeah.
how do you keep track of all those things? It's very difficult. And so
we're going to go in and count yours one day and see how many you have.
I have a password app on my phone where I keep all the passwords to all of my accounts, all of my subscriptions. I don't even have a clue how many I have.
I'm going to go with way too many.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So finally, Empathy has something they call My Plan, and it's a personalized plan that they develop just for you and your family of tasks that need to be done week by week. They prioritize the things that, the family needs to do now, today, and then let them know about the ones that can be put off until later. So it really helps because in the app, you can also collaborate with other family members. You can have up to, I think, 5 or 6 family members who can use the app, and then you can assign different tasks to different people in the family. That way, no matter where they are in the country, each family member can still say, I can do this. Even though I'm not right there, I can do this from where I'm at.
And if you don't know how to do that particular task that's on the checklist, Empathy also has the resources that you need to handle each task. So they're not just going to say, here's the task you have to do. They're going to tell you what you need to get that accomplished.
Right. And some of the tasks they will even do for you.
Right. So it's really streamlined, one-stop shopping, and what a relief to be able to have that kind of support when you're trying to deal with all that business that comes after a death.
Absolutely. So check out empathy.com. and look at their website, see all of the things that they have to offer, the resources that are available to you there. This is something that will really help you in that very critical time after the death of someone you love.
Thanks for listening to Heartbeat from the Heart of Hospice. I'm Helen Bauer here with Jerry Finter. Because we know your hospice journey is 24/7, you can always find us at theheartofhospice.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening and leave a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts.
To connect with us, just simply send us an email to host@theheartofhospice.com. And you can also find us on social media. And remember, no matter who you are or where you are in your hospice journey, you are the heart of hospice.